And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Raiders offense and Geno Smith headed back out for this next possession. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. Open man down the field. It's Bowers. Look at the big fella go. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Brock Bowers, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Well, partner, he has carried them in this ball game throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air. And that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. New York ready to go again offensively. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing, and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Fields. This is Lazard with a catch out left. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now it's 3rd and 4. Now Fields. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. Las Vegas's offense back out there ready to go. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
From the 23, here's a 2nd down and 9. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. A beautiful fake. And this is going to be a Raiders first down as the tackle made here at the 36. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Smith now to throw. Short throw caught by Bowers. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop it. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Geno now to throw. That's complete into the hands of Myers. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 6. Now Smith. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
At this point, this offense feels like they could just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end. Now when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second-half blowout material. And they'll run on the inside handoff. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you noted, got away a little bit from the first one, but the wave swarmed him under.
Hands it off out of the gun. And a solid run down inside the 30. 89 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now it's Smith. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
2nd down and 6 now. Smith. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Brock Bowers, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders are able to widen their advantage. Well, he's regarded as one of the best athletes among NFL tight ends, Charles, and it certainly was on display right there.
And as we've seen this league continue to grow and develop, I think the tight end position is becoming harder and harder to defend because now it's elite athletes playing that position, not just the big guys who can block. How about his ability to get downfield and make plays against any defense?
Carlson on for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Fields. Quick hitter here. It's complete. That one a first down pickup of 8. Off play action, Fields. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
They've got 2nd and 12 from the 36. Here's Fields. That's complete to Lazard.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. The Raiders offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Back to throw, Smith. Short throw caught by Bowers. Into space at the 45. And finally brought down at the 43. Another big play as they get 28 out of that one.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Here's Madison running left. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And some room to roam now. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 112 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. That's caught by Myers. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start. And pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game.
And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Alexander Madison, a 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Raiders have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
But that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he returns this to the 22.
And New York set to take the field.
The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Fields.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to...
And the Raiders have got him.
Christian Wilkins in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon.
Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Now it's Fields. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch it and turn upfield and pick up the 1st down.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and 15. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fielded just inside the 20. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time.
And now the rookie's free inside the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A great effort there. 75 yards. And the Raiders continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
And New York set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Back to throw, Fields.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the 1st down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Fields now to throw. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. It's 2nd down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
2nd and 10. To throw is Fields.
To Allen on the dump off. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. One thing I think that's safe to say, tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one good for 24 yards.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way. Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Fields. He'll get this to Lazard. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. They'll look to throw again. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of...
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Christian Wilkins able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Handoff, running left. Here's Hall. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Fields. And, oh, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. This offense and their running back headed back onto the field. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard. But they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the 1st, right around the 42. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So out now come the Jets. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Operating from the gun, Fields.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Fields. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Now defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. And they take a knee. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. Celebration time tonight on the Strip as we say so long from Las Vegas.